everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the call. My name is Anna Povarchik, and I'm the project manager at Genius U. Today, I'll be your host. Hope you're excited to join me today. Before we wait for everybody to come in, I will ask you to please join in the chat and share where are you guys joining from, so we know where are you based at. I'm going to post here that I'm joining from Spain. Go. So please post your name, and also, hi Suraj from Lisbon. How is the weather over there? You can share that as well. So before we start, I'm going to share the agenda for today so you know what to expect. Let me, hope you can see your screen. Can everybody see my screen? Hope you can. So this is basically what we're going to be discussing today. First, how technology has changed the landscape in business, education, and other industries. The importance of AI, data science, and machine learning. How can you grow in your career using AI and other technologies? The launching of the next generation MBA and DBA programs, and we'll also walk through the program details. At the end, we'll have a Q&A, so you'll be able to get all your questions answered. This is really cool. I'm seeing Joyce from South Africa. Hi, Joyce. Jambi from India. Demoran from London. Very cool. Gino from Cape Town. Rito from Chicago, USA. That's awesome. Sachin from India. Rinkesh from India as well. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing, and welcome everybody. So today we're going to have a very informal chat with Suraj. He'll be sharing about his career and how his journey, has impacted his career as well. So before I introduce him, let me share a little bit about him. Suraj is the CMO and Executive Director at Genius Group. After successfully launching Wealth Dynamics, Millionaire Master Plan, and Genius U, he currently heads the marketing and services at Genius U, the AI assistant to entrepreneurs and the world's leading entrepreneur education platform used by over 4.2 million of entrepreneurs globally and attracts over 25,000 new followers every week. At 24, Suraj created an online event ticketing and registration platform, which he later sold to the Idea Wave Labs. Suraj was also responsible for executing a 4-month campaign to ensure placement of the Millionaire Master Plan on the bestseller list of the New York Times, USA Today, Amazon, and Barnes & Nobles. Suraj's areas of expertise range from setting up remote development and digital marketing teams, marketing automation, CRM, big data, consulting, and entrepreneurship. He holds a Master in Business Administration from the James Cook University in Australia. That's pretty impressive. So let me now, without further ado, introduce you to Suraj. Hi, Suraj. How are you?
Hi, Anna. I'm good. How are you? And hi to everyone else who's tuned in from all over the world. So we've got people from South Africa to Chicago and from India. So good to see everyone, and good to see you as well, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you. So as everybody knows, today we will be mostly sharing AI revolution in business and education. And we are very excited to hear your journey and how that impacted your career. So are you ready for me to start with some questions?
Yeah, let's go through the questions. And if at any point anyone here who's listening in has any questions, do drop that in the chat, because we're going to come back and address those questions too. Awesome. So why don't we get started, Anna?
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So since the launch of ChatGPT, AI is the buzzword everybody's talking about at the moment, right? So how do you feel this is going to change the landscape across the industry?
I think it's already started changing. We've seen just in the last year or so, like the impact AI has had on many of the businesses as well as including jobs, right? So there have been about reports say 300 million jobs that could be affected by latest wave of AI. That's from the report from Goldman Sachs. And also the ChatGPT may reset the world of work as business rush to own their own artificial intelligence as well. So people have already seen a big impact in it. We've seen it in our business at Genius U too. A lot of the copywriting jobs that we were having, or the marketing in the marketing department itself, like creating new, say, advertisements, blogs, and all of that, that is all AI driven right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we use it every day. It's just part of our business at the moment, right? So even in Genius Group, we have launched our own Genie AI, right? So can you elaborate a little bit on that? I'm not sure everybody knows about that yet.
Yeah, so and this is something which we realized way in the beginning, that AI and as well as AR, which is augmented reality, which is going to break a lot of the barriers as well. And you would have heard from what Apple announced, I think a week or 2 weeks back, about the Vision Pro. So they're already getting into the AR space. We ran our first sort of Metaversity event last month in the metaverse. We're going to run that again next tomorrow, actually, the partner conference as well. So it's incredible to see like how those things are coming in and how we've integrated that with Genius U. Now here's the difference between the AI, which is ChatGPT, and the one which we have built. And I see a lot of other businesses who will do the same as well. So when we go on to say, let me see if I can share my screen and show you the live demo of what a Genius U Genie does. And by the way, you all can experience this for free. Just log into Genius U. Of course, if you're part of our university campus, you do get some privileges as well, additional accesses. But if I was to go in and say this is the Genie AI, I'd be like, hey, what is my next step? Which is like, who should I be connecting with? And things like that, right? And it goes in and tell me, I recommend you join the partner campus. So this is what it's told me, like I should be going in and joining the partner campus on Genius U, and has given me a link as well. And can you tell me more about myself? Now, this is what ChatGPT won't do, right? If we go in and ask ChatGPT, can you tell me more about myself?
I don't think it's going to answer that.
Yeah, but this gives me like a full resume of myself, right? Like based on like what's my location is, what my description, what my purpose, my passions are, because this really helps in connecting with the right people. Now, if I want to connect with someone in Lisbon, I should be able to find that out pretty easily from the Genie AI as well. And what are the courses I should be taking, right? What are some of the courses I should take, right? So it really becomes like your assistant so look, it says based on your interest and skills, here are some of the courses, and it's suggesting me a few of the courses which are there, which makes it really interesting, because if you go in and ask ChatGPT, it doesn't have that level of information about you to give you the right direction. So we launch our AI. It is free for everyone to use, so you don't even have to pay the fees that you usually would pay on GPT. But we plugged all of that into this system as well. And I can make business plans and marketing plans and all of the rest through by using Genie AI. I can see a lot of the companies, I can see how this benefits our community of 4.2 million plus students and users who are there on the platform, how this will help other businesses as well. So a lot of the other businesses are now using it in their own by taking the Genie AI into their own system, and they're creating their own as well, right?
That's amazing.
So the idea here for everyone is that just got to stay ahead of the game, because if you don't stay ahead of the game, you will be left out. And you don't want to get left out, right? So it is something that you need to just keep an eye on how you can start focusing on what will keep you ahead of the game in every aspect of your career.
Fantastic, fantastic. So how do you feel AI will impact the way business functions? Because it's already impacting it, right? And also if you can share a little bit about how do you think it has impacted Genius Group so far?
Yeah, like as I was mentioning, like the marketing side itself, like we our entire copywriting team now there's one, like the people that we have who used to write their own blogs and articles. There were many freelancers and copywriters. We have now one person who's like who understands digital marketing, is able to create copywriting through the Genie AI and ChatGPT as well. So we've got that, the business function of that area in the marketing itself has shifted already. It has shifted in supporting finance teams as well. Like if you go in and ask GPT-4 of, hey, can you help me create an Excel formula to solve this complex problem? It will go in and give you that solution straight away. And I think a lot of the businesses are using it. A lot of the businesses have not jumped onto it, but it's just a matter of time when everyone does get onto it. Just out of interest, there are people here, just by either show of hands or just put that in the chat, whether you are using or have you used any sort of AI for your personal self as well, right? So put that in the chat or just show it by the raise of hands so that we can get a sense of people here. Are they very new to AI or have you used any AI tools? So yeah, we can hear that like Anna says she's using it every day. Danny's just mentioned that he uses that. So which is good, right? Because the people who, as I mentioned, like it's not something which is an option, right? So in the era, in the AI era, just being data literate, it's not an option. It is a necessity. So
That's
it is something that each one of us will have to have and to scale our own careers, right? And you would have heard that many times, and data is the new oil. And at Genius U, we are actually teaching you how you actually mine that oil as well and use that too.
amazing.
In terms of business functions, just to finish on that point, what you mentioned, Anna, is it's what it will do is it will not take away, it is not going to replace managers, but it will replace them. But managers who use AI will replace those who don't. I think
Right.
that's the distinction.
That's an important distinction. Yeah, absolutely. So now that we're talking about that, we know Genius Group is the world leader in education programs for entrepreneurs and investors. How do you feel AI, metaversity, and other technologies that we just mentioned will impact the way of learning and education? Because we know that in the corporate world, but in learning and education, what would you say there?
So we saw a lot of the news coming in, even when GPT-4 was launched. A lot of universities started banning it, saying that, which is, they were like, hey, you're not supposed to use ChatGPT, or you're not supposed to use AI in the classrooms, right? It's just like saying you're not supposed to use computers at when computers started coming in first, right? Like you can't use calculators for math problems. Now, in this day and age, when you're functioning in your day-to-day business, you're bound to use that because that's your core objective. Like if you want to solve, you would do that by using AI, right? So, and also tools. So I think that's the big, I would say, difference over there.
Okay. Thank you for that.
And what I would also say is we have our own university, which is University of Antelope Valley, and in the coming months, we're actually giving every student access to Genie.
Oh, really? Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. Okay, so let's continue with the questions. We know Swiss School of Business and Management from Geneva has recently launched the next generation of MBA and doctorate programs, right? So how does it cover the next generation technologies of data science, machine learning, AI, next generation business world?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, University of Antelope Valley, SSBM is another one that we partnered with, which is Swiss School of Business Management. These, like when I did my MBA, it was we were still using computers in those. I can imagine a lot of people now using like phones and AI to do their projects. But these, like data science was not even a subject. We had data management, I remember, as one of the subject topics. This was about 12 years back. But when I did my MBA, it was very, very different. It was the data that we were talking about were mainly on spreadsheets and things like that, right? And these things are super important. I would say data science, machine learning, those are all the basis for providing the tools and resources that each company needs to scale their own business, right? So these are things which will stay and probably go forward as well. And the next sort of job or career that is going to get impacted is going to be of coders and developers, right? Sadly, and because the machine learning will start coding itself, right? If I can go on to GPT-4 and ask us, can you code me a simple landing page and give me like the HTML or PHP code for it, it will do that, which means the PHP coders need to upskill themselves, or HTML coders need to upskill themselves to learn the new things out there. And there's no better way to take this time right now, which is this year and the next year, to get that training, become an expert in it, because the next 2 or 3 decades is going to be about this, right? So, and if you don't upskill it now, it might get too late, and you don't want to be someone who, say in 5 or 7 years time, is thinking, what is this? I still don't understand how to use it. And then you're left out where other people have just gone ahead and do it as well, right?
Awesome. So get on it before it's too late, right?
Yeah.
So you said, so how long ago did you do your MBA? You say 12 years? About 12 years ago?
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago. It wasn't 20 years ago. It was 12 years ago. It has changed a lot.
Yeah.
So how has been your
actually let me be honest. I actually skipped 2 years of the pandemic, and that's been happening. It's been 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It was like 14 to 15 years back. But that's been happening. Like the pandemic, 2 years, we were just all in a lockdown. So it just feels like those 2 years we just disappeared. But yeah, it's been 14 to 15 years right now, which has been crazy. And I did that in Singapore and Australia. It was a dual program. And the way it helped me, even the mindset side of things, has been incredible. Yeah.
So how has how has it been your journey so far to become the executive director and CMO that you are today at Genius Group?
I think the MBA definitely helped, and I would say helped in 2 key areas, which is get the right sort of critical thinking and the mindset as well. And a lot of the times, as learners, we don't know what we don't know, right? Like what we get to know only once we start learning about it and see like the impact it could make in the sort of our careers as well. And there was a really good quote that which I had heard before, which is, if you think you know, and if you have not done it, you still don't know about it, right? So you think you might know all the things that might happen after MBA, and you're really business oriented and everything, up until the point you actually go ahead and do it. It makes a big difference. One of my projects, actually 2 of my projects, I'll mention 2 of my key projects I did in my MBA was bringing. So in Singapore, there is this beer company called Tiger Beer. I'm not sure many of you have tried Tiger Beer, and it's really good beer. So it was to bring that from Asia Pacific and launch it in Africa. And I had to put like the entire project plan around it and really critique it as well to make sure that whether it would be successful or not, right? So I think that is an important aspect for everyone here to know that building of those projects and being able to see the end to end of it has helped me even to this date, right? I'm doing this even this morning. I was building on a plan which I wouldn't have been able to if I had not done an
That
MBA.
is
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say are the key takeaways from your MBA that help you succeed the most in your professional life? You mentioned mindset, but I'm sure there's a few more.
Yeah, I think the mindset is one, and the community you're part of, because people, I think that from my point of view, there are three reasons why people actually do MBA. And I don't think it is as much about the course as much it is about using the course content to change your mindset. Second thing is to connect with like-minded people, because once you are connected with the right community, and if you're going to a physical sort of university, you will connect with students in there. In Genius U's case, we have like 1,000+ entrepreneurs joining our platform every single day. And when you're part of the university campus, we connect you with those entrepreneurs and leaders who actually done it. So you would have heard the quote which says, you are a reflection of the 5 people you hang out with, right? And if you hang out with a lot of top entrepreneurs, then you would be like one of them. If you hang out with a lot of, say, soccer players, 5 soccer players, you will end up being like a decent soccer player, right? So it's not like you hang out with soccer players and then you would be doing something else. So I think that's what the important aspect is. When you do MBA, you get into that right sort of community and build that. And that's what Genius U is trying to pursue from its side too.
Amazing. Yeah, community, the importance of that. That's
Yeah.
all right. So following with the questions, we know that SSBM has launched the next generation global MBA in data science, right? So how different are these from the ones you did a decade back, or more than a decade back?
Yeah. I would say a lot different, because the ones which I did a decade back worked for the past decade, but it set me up for now on to be able to be curious all the time, to be learning on the go. Even in terms of the one which SSBM right now is doing, and I can tell you, they are focusing their MBA not just on the business or the projects side, but also in data analytics, AI and machine learning, in data science, as well as business acceleration. I think those are like super key concepts, which is needed, which is how do you make an impact. So while you might get the insights and expertise on business administration, but how do you make an impact in the data-driven world? That's the difference between an entrepreneur who is not exposed to the future sort of AI and the data side of things. So this MBA in data science will just future-proof your career, as well as future-proof your business or any jobs that you will get into, because you can be rest assured that you'll have the knowledge that is needed to secure your career.
Okay, wonderful. Future proof. I like that word. Before I continue, I would like to ask if anybody has any questions so far. I don't see many questions in the chat, so maybe we can continue. But if any point you have any questions, please let us know, or raise your hand, or just post it in the chat. So following up, the doctorate in business is the new buzzword trending among senior professionals, right? So how different is this from the regular MBA program?
Yeah, so the doctorate in business is, I think it's more for people who had some sort of, and I can see here in the audience, there are some people who are already working, and it's specifically for people who are in jobs, have got some sort of work experience and want to get into, say, C-suite, or like become CMOs or executive directors. They're stuck in, say, a senior manager level, but now want to take the next step forward. That's where the DBA really helps and makes a difference, right? And the MBA, in that sense, is for early stage managers who want to go from, say, junior level to mid level, and up to, I would say, senior level itself, right? Between say 30 to 45 years old or so. But the DBA is for more and plus the fact is you also get the doctorate title. So you could be like Dr. Anna, right? For example, or if you do your DBA, and because it's in specific niche, so you get to really focus and deep dive into something that you're super passionate about, right? It could be anything around AI for entrepreneurship being like one of the topics, or it could be, say, any thing that you're super passionate about, and then you can get like a doctorate based on your research study that you do. These are very flexible programs, which makes it super helpful to be able to achieve those sort of goals. And of course, when you have those things like MBA in data science or DBA, your resume or your profile just stands out because people know that you actually have the knowledge of data science, or you actually done some research-based work for which you're got a doctor title, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so what will be your advice to the young students, or not so young for that matter? What would you, that would probably like to travel the similar path that you have traveled in the last decade? What will be your advice?
Yeah, my advice would be take action, and take action fast, because the world is moving so fast, and grab onto opportunities, right? Grab onto, while you're in the initial stages of your career, just go ahead and try and experience every opportunity that comes through. Don't worry about where the world will take you or not. And once you get onto those opportunities, it will then open up your sort of view of the world and the opportunities that might come later too, right? So I think that's what I would say. And in my case, I was, and I'm not sure many of you know much about the Indian businesses, but there's a media company in India called Times of India. So I was working for Times of India, and they had this company called Radio Military. So I was there, but I was basically stuck at sort of a mid to senior manager level, right? And I was like, how do I scale? And that time I had not done my MBA. So I decided, if I was to do, and I did an agreement with them, they were like, okay, do your MBA, come back, and you've got this new role, right? And on the basis of that, they sponsored my MBA, went out, but I had the option to buy that out as well later on if I felt like. So I did that, right? So then I went to Singapore. Singapore has a campus of James Cook University, Australia. Did my MBA from there, and told them that, hey, I'd like to buy back that scholarship and then just stay and work here. So I think it's taking action and then seeing what opportunity came on the back of that made like a big difference. So that's what I would encourage everyone who's here, is just take that action. It's 1 year or 2 years is a short time when you think of it in a 5-year or 7-year sort of scale, right? Like there's a quote which says, you can underestimate what you can do. You can overestimate what you can do in a day, but you underestimate what you can achieve in like 10 years, right?
That's so true. That's so true. That's great advice. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
So continuing with the questions, what are the things that a student should look for while selecting for an MBA program? There's so many at the moment. What do you think we should look at when selecting one to embark on?
I think of your what are the steps after you do the MBA, because MBA degree you can get it from anywhere, right? But any colleges can within your local town or your city or country. If your MBA is setting you up for success for the future, which is what our goal and objective is at Genius U, which is give you that entrepreneur community, continue or giving you courses on entrepreneurship, which come with this, connecting with you with, say, Peter Diamandis or Salim Ismail, who are top-notch coaches and mentors for entrepreneurs in the US. Like, you can Google their name and find out, like, these guys are big names who are supporting like SpaceX or even Singularity University and things like that. Exposure to that sort of community does make a big difference. So whether it's with us or whether it's with someone else, make sure it's not just a degree that you're going for, but with the degree, what are the add-ons that really help you grow? So I
Okay.
would definitely
Wonderful.
tell you to keep that in mind. And also the second point is whether it is relevant to today's topics or not, right? So if it's just an MBA, general MBA, it might be good as long as you are really connected with what's going on in the world right now.
Right. Okay, fantastic. And now that we're talking about that, what are your thoughts on the online MBA program? How has become relevant in today's world, comparing to like an in-person MBA,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Versus,
it's going to go even more once Apple's Vision Pro comes in, as I was talking about AR and being in the metaverse. A lot of
Mhm.
these things will start happening in the sort of metaverse space also, right? The next sort of hit, that financial hit that countries are going to see, is very much going to be around commercial real estate and properties, because a lot of the people have not gone back into the office. Some have started going back into the offices, but it's not to the levels what it was pre-pandemic. Same for students. Schools and universities have figured out that they can deliver programs online, right? Now, if you are, say, someone who's sitting in India, like some of the audiences, and if you can get a US accredited degree sitting there in India, it saves you, first of all the risk, the travel cost, and the tuition fees and things like that. You could actually get the degree that you need from US or from Australia or from Switzerland in the SSBM case, and use that for your career growth. And then once you got degree which is from another part of the world, you can actually use the money you would pay for the fees to actually accelerate your career in other areas, right? Because tuition fees are usually very high, but when you do it as an online MBA, it's not as high as what you would do by going into the university itself. Like the MBA in our university in California, that's close to, like, I think about $25,000-$30,000 easily, if I'm not mistaken. But if you were to do it online, it's a lot cheaper, right? It's just about, I think, 10K or something. So makes, like, reduces cost immensely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know that Genius U is in partnership with the Swiss School of Business and Management, right? And has already
Yeah.
launched DBA and MBA programs. So, what are the key features of this SSBM MBA and DBA programs?
Yeah, so I think
yeah,
so
different,
yeah,
right?
so the key. Sorry, say that again.
So comparing MBA to the
Okay.
DBA. Mhm.
Yeah, I think those are the key items that you mentioned, and I'll share the screen as well so you can see what it does, right? So the MBA, this is for MBA in data science. You get a AC, BSP, and Eduqua accredited member of it. So you get accredited degrees, you get 12 months online course, you get the SSBM Connect. So you connect with not just with Genius U community, you connect with the SSBM community as well. And you get alumni access with the SSBM, which is a lot of the alumni who pass from it. And as you mentioned, as you saw in the chat, Arnold mentioned that SSBM is the top 10 universities in Europe, and you connect with the alumni who are from that top university, right? So you already have opportunities, say, in people who are going there. You get a personal advisor throughout the program. You get the 60 ECTS credits, which you can use for growth, as well as e-learning platform, which is used by Harvard and MIT as well, right? And the skill set. And now all of this you get in addition to what you get from Genius U, right? So that's an additional I would say thing which you get with MBA. When it comes to DBA is far more detailed, and in the case of DBA, there are like master classes on like futuristic topics, and you can see that here. These are very personalized. You can choose from 12 plus specializations, or bring your own research topic for maximum impact to you. And then you get the doctorate title, right? And you get the, as I just mentioned, you earn the equated doctor title. You get researcher education in management studies. You get competence to design and implement a sizable research project. with practical orientation. There's some amazing things that you get as part of this. Plus, you also get master classes from what I just mentioned, Peter Diamandis, who's a New York Times bestselling author, and is the original space tech guru, right? And is co-founder of Zero Gravity Corporation. He delivers his courses on Genius U, and you get access to his programs too. Just his programs, if you were to do without this sort of bundle, would cost you in like $20,000 or $30,000 easily. But you get access to all that information, right? Salim Ismail, New York Times bestselling author as well, serial entrepreneur and founder of EXO and OpenEXO, which is Exponential Organization. Some amazing book if you have not read it, and also chairman of the X Prize Foundation, right? So, which is again solid sort of people who you would be able to learn from. And Roger Hamilton, of course, the founder of Genius Group, and he's a futurist, and that's why we are leading in our space on future technology as well, because we work with mentors like this, right? And you get all of this as well, which is the difference between the MBA and the DBA, which is DBA is more research focused as well. We're going to have some technical, if you got any technical questions around it, we're going to have Anand as well as Nivedita joining us later. So you could actually have any questions listed out for them.
Fantastic, fantastic. So thank you so much for sharing that and the differentiation in both programs, and also how that differs from the traditional courses. And I believe you share this a little bit as well. In time of recession, how will the MBA or DBA secure a position and help us stand out in a crowd of millions of MBA graduates, right? So would you like to explain a little bit more about that, or do you want me to move into the next question?
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of this already, like how things are changing in the times of recession. So we should move to the next sort of questions around it, knowing that we have like close to 40 minutes in. Or
getting on time. All right, great. So we know MBA is to create network, right? So how can online program help in that if you're not in an actual, office environment or a classroom environment?
Yeah. So this is where, which I was showing you about Genius U, right? So Genius U allows you to connect with all the entrepreneurs who are part of the network, and along with, and you do it online too. Plus, you get access to all these amazing events. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into our Metaversity, if I can, just see if I can log into that, because that will show you how we are doing it with our sort of events, right? And in those events, give me a second. It is just loading up. There is a little bit slow here, but if I go in here to, let me share my screen. Yeah, so these are all the people who has been recommended to me to connect with, and they've like I've been recommended to them as well. So there's Terry Vincent. She invests in Australia. She's a business coach, mentor, founder of TV Global Coaching and Training, master trainer. So you could actually go in and connect with her straight away as well. And a lot of them show up to our events too. So you can meet them at the events as well. So these online spaces make a big difference, right? And what I was talking about, the metaverse, this is the view of the metaverse now. I can already see there are some people who are hanging out around here. I can go and talk to them, or I could just go into different spaces. Now we have closed the space right now for tomorrow's event, but this gives you the visualization of what's going to happen when people start learning virtually, which is, imagine me being here and connecting with people. Let's say here I can see that she's on mute or maybe is busy. Her name is Michelle, and I could connect with her and chat and exchange business cards, right? So I think connection still happens. It's more around how you play in that game itself.
Wonderful. And at a different level also.
Yeah.
That's so in your personal opinions, Raj, what are you looking for candidates as a CMO when you hire people from your team for the leadership roles, could you look forward to, hiring MBA students or doctorate learners at Genius Group in your team? Is that something that you're planning on to the future?
Yeah, so I think the main thing is we definitely look for people who are go-getters, who are entrepreneurial in nature, who want to, who got that mindset already, right? And that mindset shift comes in from the MBAs and the DBAs that you do with SSBM or Genius U. So it does help in that area. So mindset is a big aspect for when we hire people, right? So and plus, if you got the degrees, it makes a big difference. Anyone who we hire, we get them through psychometric testing, which is one of our key sort of things on Genius U, which is Genius Test or Well Dynamics Test. And once you complete on the psychometric testing, it really helps in identifying what people's key strengths are. And we actually offer them roles where their strengths are rather than their weaknesses. So they actually love their work rather than hate what they're doing, right? And we are continuously hiring as well. But we also know that people who go through our programs are more likely will more likely be eligible for us to hire, because we then see a bigger pool of people who are there, who understood our mission, vision, and all other aspects as well of the business.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing that. And just as concluding notes, what would you say is the add-on on Genius U features packages that we can provide to the learner along with the program?
Yeah, for sure. Like, so for everyone who's actually coming in and joining the MBAs or the DBAs or even the bachelor's programs, these are some of the things, right? So I shared with you the Genie AI. So each student gets your own personalized Genie AI, which is your own assistant who you can ask questions. You can ask personal questions to it as well and give you advice on that, on your career path and everything like that. So you get this, plus you get access to Investor Summit. So this is like the metaverse that I was talking about, but you get, we've got the Investor Summit, which happened. We've got the Entrepreneur Summit, which is coming up in October. So you get access to our summit events. Each ticket here is over like $100 or so, but you get that free as part of the package. You also get monthly training, which is, we call the Genius U Metaversity Masterclasses. These ones run every month. So you can see here how to escape the debt trap and transform your finances, how to skyrocket your business success and multiply your income, how to build and lead high performance teams, and then how to achieve financial mastery and unlock capital. So these trainings, which run every month, you get access to that as well. And this by itself is, I think, about $1,000 or so. So this is plugged in into the program. Plus, there's every week, there's some activity. You don't have to come for all, but you get access to this for 1 year, where you can understand more about individual, your own passions, your purposes, and you're working based on those. And the master classes, which is the training sessions I just mentioned, and how you can start making money also while you're studying, right? So which is, we also share how you can become like an affiliate or reseller of Genius U and start making money, right? If you're a student of Genius U or any of our courses, you probably can cover up your course fees just by being one of our partners, right? And because we give out heavy commissions to our partners. And then action workshop too, which is like key workshops that show you the how-to, which is having this information is good, but how you actually use it is the key aspect. And then these trainings, which I just mentioned about Salim, Peter, Roger, and then the key products, right, which is the master classes and the assessment. So there's a lot of bonuses which come with being part of the MBA DBA, and you get access to the community also, which I had just mentioned, right?
Fantastic, which is priceless, by the way. That's very good. Thank you so much, Suraj, for sharing all this knowledge. I think this will be concluding our questionnaires and your sharing of your journey. Thank you. I will now introduce you to Anand, he's going to be leading the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, I see some questions coming in the chat. Anand will be able to answer those. Let me introduce you to Anand Naik. He is the program director at our university campus. Hi, Anand. Are you here?
Hey, hi, Anna. Thanks for a wonderful session. Thanks for being a great host. And thanks, Suraj, for enlightening all our learners with your journey, right? It has really been a great journey from your MBA days to becoming the executive director and CMO of the Genius Group, right? So thanks for that. Yeah. And I'm all here to take the questions. So,
Right. I think there are questions here which I can see as well, and I can pick some of those too.
okay,
Uh,
yeah.
I think there is a question which is, I believe, from Danny and from Danny Singh, but there would be similar questions from other people also, which is like, oh, there are these MBA and DBA programs which are being offered in AI and data science within a country or in, say, a university right next to me. You can go ahead and do that, right? Like, I think education is important. It doesn't matter who you do it with. The benefit of doing it with Genius U is you get the long tail, right? Which is what happens after the MBA, which is if you want to go global, right? If you want to connect with the community, as I was saying, there is no other sort of institution which is out there which will give you or connect you with, say, 1,000 new entrepreneurs coming in every day, right, onto our platform. You get access to that. If I was to go and ask Jeannie, saying that, hey, based on my career, my passion, and the challenges that I'm having, can you connect me with the right person, right? And it will go and connect me to that. Now, would your MBA in the other sort of space do that? Probably in a very physical way, which would be difficult for you to operate on, right? Whereas here, we are running these summits, we are running the master classes. We also have physical events in Bali, in South Africa, and in LA, where we have our own properties and resorts, where we bring top mentors, speakers, and entrepreneurs to meet. So it's basically what level you want to play at. You could just get an MBA and play at the level you're at, or if you want to play at the global scale with the top guys like Peter Diamandis, Salim Ismail. I can bet like Peter Diamandis and Salim Ismail have not done this with, or Roger Hamilton have not done this with any other university degrees. And these are the guys who work with the likes of Tesla. They're advising the likes of Tesla. They're working with the like of SpaceX and things like that, and connecting with those level of people. So, do you see any other questions that have come in over there?
Yeah, so one question is about the accreditation, right? So I think Damodaran is asking whether it is best recognized program, accredited program. Yes, Damodaran, it is an ACBSP accredited program. It is a global body ACBSP. That accreditation is there. And of course, it is accredited by WES also. So if you apply for the WES recognition, it would show that it is a proper doctorate program, right? And you'll get those many credit points as such for this program. So yeah, it is accredited, right? Just to answer that question. And apart from that, what Suraj mentioned, right, there are lots of other benefits also. If you look into the LMS, right, the online platform is really a world-class online platform that SSBM has, right? It's similar to Harvard or any other biggest institute. And you can, you would feel like as if you're doing a proper personal one-to-one session only, like once you go through this learning management system, right? And as Suraj rightly mentioned, there would be different benefits to you, like Alumni Connect, there would be e-library access of SSBM, there would be Genius U features. You'll have one-to-one personal advisor for this program. For doctorate, you would have a supervisor, right, who would go through one-to-one thesis with you. Like, you would be monitoring the thesis and you can deep dive into it. Right? So those all benefits you'll get. And as Suraj pretty much rightly mentioned at the beginning, right, that MBA would be for entry point learners who want to become next-gen managers. Right? If they want to become a next-gen managers, then MBA is a very good program. We have a global MBA, which is a traditional MBA, right? If you want to do an MBA in say sales or marketing or HR or operations, then there is a global MBA we have. But as Suraj mentioned, if you want to do a next-gen MBA, right, into AI, data science, machine learning, then we have an MBA in data science as well with us. If you want to do an MBA from US University, that is University of Antelope Valley, that US University MBA is also there with us. If you want to do Swiss Business School European MBA, then those business MBAs are also with us. And if you are a senior professionals, right, who aspire to become someone like Suraj, right, who's an executive director at Genius Group, or you want to get into senior management, then we have got the doctorate programs at our place. So you can go for a doctorate also if you want to get into senior management. But that is for senior professionals, people in the age group of say 40 to 55, that kind of an age group. So yeah, so these are our programs. Suraj, do you want to add on anything on this? I think you have covered almost everything about these programs.
Yeah, I think we've covered quite a bit already. So if there are any questions, just put that in the chat. If there are no other questions, you could also book in like a free session with our team. If you need like a one-to-one session, if the team can just put in the links in there, you just have to go and fill in the links. These are no requirements on this one to just speak to our team and get the free counseling as well. Get a free consultation and counseling with our team members and see whether it's a right fit for you or not, right? Just having that conversation will open up your mind in a lot of ways of things you can look at, right? So I would say at the very least, take an action, and the action should be like book in a call. Otherwise, you'd always think of procrastinating and keeping it as something to do at a later stage, and that later stage usually never comes, right? So commit to just doing it and see the difference it can make just by having a simple conversation, right?
Yeah. I think Damodaran is just asking one question, whether DB and strategic management, whether it is a research track. Yeah, there would be a research section in that, right? Research track. There would be a thesis that you have to work on it. And there would be a supervisor provided to you, right? Who would take you to that research track as such. For more details, there is a calendar link that Nivedita, my colleague, has shared here. So you can just book a slot and she will take you in detail for the consultation as such. Hope that answers the question of Dan.
Okay. I think that those are most of the questions then. So then should we then close the call, Anand, or do you have anything else to cover?
No, I think almost everything we have covered, right? About the AI revolution, about your journey, about the benefits of our programs, right? So I think if there are no questions, I think we would look you guys to book a session with us, right? A Calendly session, and we would be happy to discuss in detail with you about our programs.
All right, wonderful. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on our calls or counseling sessions. And if you need to reach out to me, you can just reach out to me on GeniusU or in LinkedIn or any other areas if you need any guidance on your career path too, right? So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Anand, for organizing this along with the team. So speak soon.
Yeah, thanks, Suraj, for being an excellent panelist. And I hope these guys would have learned a lot from your experience. Thank you. Thank you for being a great panelist. And Anna, thank you for being a great host.